Arsenal, a Small Knights podcast hosted by Lord Hood, Laszlo Sklay, and Zagreus.
Episode 74, recorded on April 6th, 2014.
This is Lord Hood.
And this is Legend Sklay. Welcome to the Arsenal, a podcast where we talk about Spiral Knights. This week we're joined by our good friend Sir-Greenlink once again. Hi.
Hi, I'm the one that you guys can't seem to get rid of.
No, but we like you around. You're helpful and creative and awesome. Greenlink is the one who defies the fact that green is not a creative color, because he might be one of the most creative people I know.
Definitely the most creative.
Probably, yeah.
Yes. That's a very important title.
Creative green person?
Yeah.
Yes.
Greenlink has been on this show many times now. Started a long time ago as an underwater submarine man in the ocean somewhere, and now...
Risen from the depths.
Yes, now he has risen to become basically the unpaid, self-proclaimed, host-proclaimed secretary of the podcast, among other things. Doing all his own things, and you are currently, though maybe not for much longer, an officer in the Night's Watch? Or should I not even say that?
Yes, you can say that, yeah.
Alright. Is there anything else that people should note of you? I'm trying to think. You have a YouTube. You've got
Yes,
at least one video up on there. That's...
2 videos.
2 videos, okay. Oh, that's right, the music video.
Yes.
Yeah, so we featured everything you've done on the podcast so far.
Uh-huh.
And Lord Hood clears messages from user SnakesS17 in the chat and then says, oops, because he's Lord Troll.
Yeah.
Alright, well we have a lockbox here, so I'll go ahead and just open this up with no further ado, because I can't think of a way to make this clever.
Get the band stick and try it open with my key. I didn't bring key.
With my reskinned band stick from the April 1st jokes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I want one. Where
Pardon?
can I get one?
Oh. Well, you simply reskin your Protosword as a band stick, and it works great.
Oh, I should try that sometime.
Or so I'm told.
My color code in the chat is 666. That's my color.
Oh, good for you. Okay, well, in here there's a party going on, because happy birthday, 3rd birthday to Spiral Knights, yay. It's the...
Played kazoos in 8K. My father would be so proud.
Yeah, as quote from Nick, yeah. Anyway, yeah, Spiral Knights turns 3 this week, so isn't that fun? Or this past
like a
week.
little toddler baby.
Huh, that is interesting. Any child that was born around the time that Spiral Knights went live is now only 3. It's kind of sad, because you think 3 is old. 3 is old for a game, but it's very, very young for a person, so never mind.
Kind of sad that they're probably not going to be able to play it in their lifetime.
Yeah, so there will be memories, and passed down from...
Tears will be shed. Blood will be shed.
Oh, no, let's not do the bloodshed part.
The blood of wolves.
Oh, no. Among the celebration in the streets, there's also a herald calling for the Spiral Knights census, which is something that is happening right now, and we'll tell you how you can participate in that if you haven't already. And then, lastly, there's just a piece of paper here that says, stick around till Spiral Order Recon to hear how we did our April Fool's video. So we'll be telling you guys how we did it, because if you haven't seen our April Fool's video, which is on our channel...
We'll have to do it in the basement, away from the GMs.
Yeah, I'll have to go down to the basement or something.
In no way is this associated with the Arsenal podcast, anyway.
No, it's only on their channel, and they're talking about it.
Yeah.
And has the hosts and friends in it.
Well, I own the Arsenal podcast, and you guys are just doing it on your own, that's what we'll say.
Okay, temporarily.
You went under my, behind my back to make it.
Sure. Anyways, if you haven't seen it, the April Fool's video at youtube.com/SklayElite, it's got April Fool's in all caps in the title, and the fastest way to get Eternal Orbs of Alchemy. among other things. So we'll go through each of the tricks we did there and just tell you quickly how we did that. So that's fun.
Yes.
And shaking the lockbox upside down, there doesn't appear to be anything else falling out. So I guess we'll move on to mission report and get going with the show. Except the bumpers aren't ready, so I might as well not play them. Zane, how was your week?
So, Medicine, how was your week?
Bud, how was your week? Mission report goes something like this. Welcome to the first conventional segment of the show where we talk about us for a little bit. So, this is what we did. And while the bumper was running, we fixed Lord Hood's mic. So, sorry if he sounded a bit distant, which is probably what it sounded like.
Do I still sound?
You're not that far away. Come
No, you
closer.
actually sound much better now, so.
Away.
Good. So, hey Greenlink, what have you been doing with the anniversary update and such?
Oh, well, I've been running these missions pretty much every day and finding cakes and stuff. I've opened 2 boxes so far, and they actually look really good to considering that they are free prize box items.
You mean the items look good or the boxes look good?
Well, yeah, the boxes look good, but the items look good. Better than your average Hello or Frosty and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's like the one time a year where they make nice promotions accessible to everyone. Alright,
And
well,
then they
neat.
made every promotion accessible to everyone who pays money.
Well, yes, of course, but this is how Three Rings eats, after all.
Yeah, we wouldn't want them to starve to death and have to start eating snipes.
No, that would be awful. Why would we ever consider that? No.
Why would we eat
The
our own
snipe bar.
children?
Yeah. Well, you see, when they release their annual earnings, you see like a giant dip in it, and then all the snipes disappear. Like one month, like they don't make any money, so all the snipes disappear.
Wouldn't that be quite something? You know, I was hunting cakes myself, and as is almost always the case, there is one arcade gate that is convenient for the event that is running. So where you're looking for clockworks during like the Dark Harvest Festival, or whatever you're doing, if you're looking for fiend levels.
Iron Horse Gate, yeah.
Yeah, there's always like one gate that like the first depth after one of the stops has what you're looking for.
Yeah, you go look on the gate map, and like all your friends are there.
Yeah, exactly. It's an undead one at the moment. I don't know what the gate is. It's like Amber Pawn or something, I think. It's orange. It's third in the rotation, so it'll be there for a
Blue Snipe
couple
Gate.
days.
They should have snipe gates.
That would be good. That would make sense.
Snipe gates.
Well, I mean, they have lion gates, but there's definitely no lions in the game, so...
I hope
There
not.
was a gate with a dove symbol on it at one point, wasn't there?
Was that like the Floso Gate or something?
I don't know.
It-
I'm looking it
I
up
think-
right now.
I think it was like before the arcade. Before the there was like a 4-level gate that had predetermined levels on it or something.
Falcon. There is a Falcon gate.
Yeah, I'm talking about a level that existed in the beta testing or something.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure there was a 4-level predetermined gate that had like a treasure vault and some other things in it. Can't remember it though.
Huh. Oh, the good old days of the good old days. Yeah. Anyway, I want a guaranteed treasure vault. Can I have that? I'll go to some bird gate to get a free treasure vault.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing I put on the survey.
Census. Yeah.
Yeah, I put guaranteed UV tickets. Like you would get like a poison low UV ticket, and would give you a poison low on that item. Like you could, and the rare ones would be more expensive. Like
So how much would the ASI very high cost? Because almost anyone would just pay for that.
yeah, it would be expensive.
Like, so say someone has to roll, I mean, statistically, some 2,000 times to get that UV. So 2,000 times 20,000 crowns equals how much it's supposed to cost. So
I think
4 million.
1 million. Yeah.
I think if anything, I'd prefer a random UV ticket that you could choose to put on whatever weapon.
Oh, so you UV it first, and then you can apply it.
Yeah, or like taking off a UV and having it. Like, you take off a Shadow Max UV off your Wolver and put it on your, like...
Something else,
yeah.
UV recovery tickets.
Yeah. That would be kind of OP, though.
Yeah, it seems like that whole thing. Anything that's more than RNG UVs seems to be in the world of OP, pay-to-win kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and we're talking about transmutations, and we're not even there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, we weren't planning on actually having a transmutation segment, so this will have to suffice.
Yeah, okay. Moving on. Am I next? Or...
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't really do anything in gaming.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
You were waiting to tell us that you didn't do anything.
Yes.
Yeah, he was just sitting there like he's like anticipating. He's like breathing hard. He's
I have
like,
a lot to tell you. No, I really don't.
Stinks. Okay. The only thing of note that happened to me, kind of doing what Greenlink does with running the cakes and that, I've opened one box so far, and I have about 30 or so tokens. I haven't had much time to play because I've been busy. Literally no time for games this week. But one thing I did do is run that undead gate, and before I knew that it was a Mewcat, I had killed it. And as I was swinging my Warhammer to one-shot kill it, I was like, that's a Mewcat. And then it was dead.
Fine,
And I did not get an aura. But
Like, no, stop swinging the sword.
yeah, it was just like the cat spawned and I clicked the button. And it's like, as he's starting to wind up, I'm like,
You could have
That's
shield
a
cancelled.
not after I clicked the swing button for the first one.
Yes. I've seen one Mewcat before, and I was.
You couldn't have
running
like turned away or
someone.
something. Oh, no,
They
I
decided
can't
that they were
handle
going to fire a gun, so I saw it for about 1 second before it died. So yes, they are rare.
Apparently so. Yeah, it's the first one I've ever seen in 1,234 hours of play, which is what Steam claims that I have done. Is 1, 2, 3, 4
that
hours
includes
now,
idling.
including idling. But so 100 or 200 hours of gameplay. First Mewcat. Seen one Imposter Cube, no soul jellies, a million love puppies.
I've seen lots of love puppies. I've only seen one soul jelly though.
Seen everything but a soul jelly.
I saw one in like Totem Trouble, I think.
I've seen one in. Usually it's the Jelly Palace. I've seen multiple in the Jelly Palace.
Soul jellies?
Or I'm sorry. I was thinking love puppies. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
love
I missed
puppies
something.
and Jelly Palace.
All right. Well, I guess that's that. We should get into the news because we're kind of
Yeah.
touching on the news. And sorry, I'm a bit distracted right now. I'm trying to manage a few things over here, but I will try to ignore. If you want to join the laggy live stream, we record each of these streams live every week at livestream.com/thearsenalpodcast, and that's at 2 p.m., which is Eastern Standard Time, which is currently GMT -4 because daylight savings time is a butt. So that's why it's GMT -4, not GMT -5. So don't get confused.
Ben
if you
Franklin.
need, I'm happy. I'm happy to message. If you want to message me, I've had multiple people say, "What's that in my time zone?" I'm happy to do the conversion for you if you can't Google it yourself. It's fine. Google has a converter. You should use it. It corrects for daylight savings time.
There's also an app for that.
Google
In
is your
fact, there's
friend.
probably 500,000 apps for that.
Indeed. But if it
In
means
fact, you
that
don't even
you'll...
need an app. If you have something that can have an app on it, then you have a world clock on your device. So
This is very true, too. Even my little dinky, flip phone has that.
yeah.
Anyways, if you want to do that, Third Wing says, I love daylight savings time. It's no joke.
It's good once a year.
Yeah, nice. Okay, it's once or twice a year. Twice a year at most.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, let's just jump into the news here. Overheard at Moorcroft Manor.
From the helmet of someone who likes some creature that wires a horn to fight with or something like that. The helmet is supposed to be resembling to a demon called.
You know, if anyone ever plays Halo Reach, you can do the skull grunt happy birthday. You should have Gremlin happy birthday, where you headshot a gremlin and confetti spews out during this update. That should be a thing.
Okay. More transmutations not misplaced transmutations.
I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
The segment that does not exist for this episode is taking up most of the episode.
Yeah, there you go. I want a punching bag that when I hit it, it sets off a firework. And I want to create all the lag in the world.
You just have
Yes,
like 50 or
can we
60
have
people in
something that
Haven
actually
all set off
generates
large
lag?
fireworks at the same time.
Whoa, we had multiple people talking at the same time. Greenlink, what were you saying?
Can we have something that actually generates lag?
Yeah.
Its sole purpose is to create lag.
Why would you do that?
There's something like that in Gary's mod. It's called a server crasher, and its sole purpose is to crash servers.
Why would you
It's
do
really
that?
kind of funny. It uses like every single piece of physics you can in Gary's mod, and it's like this machine that you turn it on and it just crashes the server. Like no matter what, no matter how much like processing like dedicated or whatever you have on there, but it just goes. Some servers last longer than others.
Results may vary.
Wow.
Exactly.
Such...
You can look it up. It's called the server crasher. Just
It's called the Server Crasher. And with that, the derail is over. So, April Fool's was the first thing that happened this week. Hey, we're in news and discussion. Hi, it's Moorcroft Manor. We overheard some things. Let's talk about them. And we want to highlight some of the things. The Secret GM Forum came out again on April 1st, and it was new and updated for 2014. And some things were revealed that may or may not actually be true, but we figured might as well be worth sharing because they were at the very least hilarious. One of the facts was that Eurydice let us know that the... What's it called? What's the blue jelly armor costumes that we have? Celestial? Serene?
Yes.
What's it called?
Celestial.
Not Celestial.
And
That's actually what Knights looks like without armor, and that they actually lay eggs, which birth into snipes. Straight from Eurydice. I have screenshots.
You know.
So apparently that's a thing.
so
We also
Snipes is people.
straight from all the other GMs. Eurydice breaks into other GMs' houses at night and watches them sleep. So if we're gonna take all of their words, then
Yeah, absolutely. Aphrodite said, "Fire crystals are red, sparks of life are blue. Give us some money or no content for you." So get on that,
which is great.
Spiral Knights fan base.
Yes. Interpret
Ben-
it how you like.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of them right now. Shrink all guild hall rooms by 1 pixel per day. That's some of the upcoming plans they're doing. You know,
Yes. I like the sound of the new tablets and tablets that they're going to make.
Oh?
Like the tablet of the ham rose, the cheese rose.
Oh, that's right.
The dog rose.
That was funny.
lighten everyone's personal color by like 1 shade every day, like tiny increments, and like by the end of the year, everyone will be like pastel white. and then they'll be like, "What? There's no." The game masters will deny everything and say, "There's no change." I don't know what you're talking about.
I want a chapeau and tabard of the cheese rose.
Oh, those things, yeah. Those are some pretty funny ones.
One that made me laugh literally out loud was reading Aphrodite, and she said, "But what they don't know is the Gunner update came out when this happened," and it was a link to like the 1 patch notes for the 1 week. It's like Chilling Duelist now allowed to fire. It was like Gunner update. Look,
that made me laugh too. I think, yeah, I remember that.
it was hilarious. And then, So, do you have any others? Because if not, we could laugh at these all day.
Yeah.
One that stood out to me was whoever keeps playing Friday in the guild hall, I am going to hurt you a lot.
Yeah. And apparently there's now Saturday. Rebecca Black made the song Saturday, which I didn't realize until very recently, but apparently it's a thing. And I want to go, why?
And Night Pollution. Did you read that one? They say the color of the water in Haven Fountain turns brown over the course of 2 years, and then you blame the players for polluting the environment and tell them there's a way to change it back.
Do it with minerals. Because minerals solve everything.
We need a bucket-shaped eyeless helmet.
It will open the core.
Clean the fountain, open the core. It's like all of Spiral Knights is there to make like a statement for the environment. Plant trees. Don't build planets out of all metal. Clean fountains, open core. The end.
Oh, and yes, Morocco's just shown probably one of the most disturbing images that the Game Masters will ever post.
Yes, a twerking Bosco. Did you see that?
I don't think I did, actually.
Yes.
I'll
I feel like we should say no more about this. But it is a butt gyrating Bosco. Okay.
Today I learned about Rule 34 on the podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
Enough said. Moving on.
Sorry. Yep. And I do want to make the clarification that last week we were talking about, like, console. What happens if we add more console commands? That was to preempt our April Fool's video. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have time to edit the podcast, so April Fool's was on Tuesday, and the podcast got published on Wednesday, so it kind of defeated the purpose, but still, it was...
If people listen to the podcast and then watch it... Then,
exactly, yeah. So, there is actually nothing to do with console whatever, and we were kind of breaking rules last week by saying, we'll talk about it even though it's spoilers. We don't talk about spoilers on this show, so that would have been a giveaway. But anyways, there is actually no console. We're not expecting new console commands. Not saying it couldn't happen, and we'd still love it, but our talk of it and all that was merely a massive ploy to preempt the April Fool's video that was happening. So
Eurydice, I like big snipes and I cannot lie.
What?
That's what Eurydice said about snipes.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
And once again, if you're listening to this, stay tuned until Spiral Order Recon, where we talk about media, and we'll tell you how we did that video. Anyways, the Spiral Knight census is a thing that's happening right now, and while the census is usually there to count heads and take demographic statistics, this one is also to find out what you think about the game.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the wording and stuff.
It worked well. One of the tricks was that... there were some things where it's like, what is the one thing you like best about Spiral Knights? I don't know if that was an actual question, but they're not radio buttons, they're checkboxes.
Yes.
Radio buttons are ones where you can only pick one option, and if you click another one, it'll deselect the first. In this survey, I think all of them are select as many as you want.
Yeah, I told them about that, and they might want to change that. Because you could select, do you have friends that play the podcast, or that play... You have friends that play the game, and you could click yes, lots, yes, a few, and no, none at all.
Yeah.
And you could click all of them. So, yes, lots of them. No, I don't have any friends.
That's my concern with that. That's why I bring it up, because I can't imagine how many trolls are going through and selecting every option for everything.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
like...
Well, I filled out I filled it out.
Like, have you participated in the Spiral Knights event? No. Question 2. If so, what events have you participated in?
Select all.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I haven't. All of these.
Yes, I have participated in an event, and no, I have not participated in an event.
Yeah. Well, Core Guardian says some of them were radio buttons, but some of them that were just like pick one or pick two had all options.
Yeah, had all options. So, yeah, I filled out the survey within maybe 20 minutes of it coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was one of the first ones out there, and I put at the bottom, like, is there anything else you want to tell us? So I said, like, you can click all of these, so you might want to change that.
I made multiple references to the podcast, particularly related to some projects we're working with the GMs on, which is related to the secret message that will be returning to the YouTube channel that you might be watching, youtube.com/SkullElite, where there's a little bit of a message that I keep giving, and I need to accelerate that because the event has actually been set in stone and the date has been set and all this. But we'll start advertising that next month. Ooh, secrets. Really exciting. Anyways, where was I going with that? Oh, I made references to that.
Wait, the sniper gun is a secret?
I made references to that in the census, or in my answers, and then at the end I said, I'm sorry for spoiling my assumed confidentiality, as I know you want to keep this a secret. I basically gave them enough information for, if Eurydice reads it, she'll know it's me. And, oh well. That's a thing. If she's also still right in claiming that she listens to this podcast every week, well then,
yeah. Well, I think based on my information, they could probably figure out it was me.
Yeah.
If they really tried to. I don't think they would try to, but...
I think it was pretty obvious that it was me. It's like, what do you like doing? What's the best thing you like about Spiral Knights and that? And it's like, please explain. I'm like, hosting a podcast. Wow, that was good.
It narrows it down to 3.
Sure you're not talking about that other podcast that people host about Spiral Knights?
Well, there was going to be a NJ Thug Digicom and some other people podcast for a bit there, but that never got wings. So
came to fruition.
No. Anyways, the question came to me this week, and I just wanted to address this. Why a census? Why this? My thought is merely this, that the Gunner update is coming. Mm-hmm. The next step for the arcade is coming, and both of those are quite upon us. I mean, I can't say they'll be next week, but not saying they couldn't be either.
The update is nigh.
The updates are nigh, though. I mean, Spiral Knights is more associative to Valve, as in Valve time, as in late. But it's okay, they're coming, is the point.
Actually, Spiral Knights is a little bit better than Valve. Valve actually says, we're going to have the update on this date. And then nothing happens. Spiral Knights is just purposefully vague, which I don't mind necessarily because they're not promising anything, but...
Yeah.
Like, it could happen in the next 6 months, or it might not.
This is true.
I just thought I'd mention that last month, one of Three Rings' other games, Puzzle Pirates, had a census in March.
Huh. Interesting.
So, they're doing it
Ocean
a month
Masters.
later for this game, but...
Yeah. That kind of changes my answer a little bit. My thought was, after the arcade comes out, or Arcade Redux, comes out and or finishes, because they've obviously know what they're planning, and the Gunner update comes out, because that's obviously almost finished. After that, it's so at the end of 2014, it's okay, so what do we do now? What's the next thing?
Open the core!
I'm assuming the census is a preempt to find what do players like, and how can we complement that with our future updates. At least in part, to say, so what are the things that people like doing? What events can we put on in the future? What contests? What monsters should we include in the next danger mission? Or whatever. It's helping to give them some direction, I'll assume. So that said, don't BS your answers. If you want to do that, don't participate in the census because you're not helping anything. You may very well, very easily be helping, in part, to shape the future of the game. So be helpful. Or
no bronies.
Go away. Please.
Yes.
That's kind of all I wanted to say on that.
Please do not put somewhere to store my Ecto Drops or anything along those lines.
Triple the drop rate of Ecto Drops.
No, why would you do that?
There's some guy, and he's like, I didn't know you could fill up your inventory. You can? Yeah, apparently so. I have 80,000 Ecto Drops, and I can't even move anymore. He's just stuck in Haven.
I want to do that. I want to do a video game science based on how much weight is the knight carrying at any given time, with 4 swords, a shield, and ancient plate armor and trinkets.
Yeah, you could calculate the if you knew the material, you could calculate the volume and
exactly the density, and then therefore the weight. So,
you could just assume based on medieval weaponry and armor. What the metal is made of, and then calculate the density. What is it? Rho equals...
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I just want to see how much weight they're carrying on them at any given time.
It'd be interesting.
It would be. Alright, there was also, of course, with the third anniversary update, which came with no... I don't know, I was thinking about this earlier. I said that... expect the new, the Battle Chef stuff to come back. That didn't come with last year's update, and I don't know what I was thinking, and...
Well, it very well might come back.
It might as well, but it didn't, is my end point, is that...
not with this update.
Not with this update. So I don't know why I was associating the two together, because they actually didn't go together originally, and they're still not going together now. But
Isn't it within the new prize boxes, though?
Maybe. Possibly, probably? I don't know, let me look. There is if you make certain energy purchase, you can get a mystery prize box now, which will contain a Hunter prize box, or a Nemesis, or Surge, or Gourmet, which is the one we're talking about, or Moorcraft, or Polar, or Stormy, or Obsidian, or Dangerous, or Ancient, or Rose Regalia, or Colossal. So...
basically anything.
So what I want to see happen is I want you, as any player... to take screenshots or make a video and say, I have a mystery box here and I expect to get a Surge flak jacket. Then open the mystery box and get a Surge box, and open the Surge box and get a Surge flak jacket. I want to see it happen. I want someone to call the thing that they are going to get very specifically.
Well, you know how that would happen is NJ Thug would do that. He'd call a Stormy... or he'd call a...
Storm Rider Mantle.
Yeah, Storm Rider Mantle. And he'd just open 300 boxes. I don't know if it's he or she, I forget.
I'll assume NJ Thug is a he, but I've not met the person.
NJ Thug would open 300 boxes and then until they got
Yeah.
You just open it, yeah.
But if that can happen, and you can send it, then we will, be
Unless
crazy.
you're a JThug, because you don't need any money.
Yeah. Well, we don't.
Well, we'll give you.
The EOS side of the world's honestly kind of over there, since they've disassociated themselves with this podcast. I think there's a mutual return, unspoken return. If they want to come hang, then hey, might as well. I'd love to have some of them on the show. But, it is what it is.
We're just like neighboring countries with
Exactly.
political
Neutral
ties.
neighboring countries that don't talk to each other. Or something. Anyways, this update is lasting until the 9th of April, which means, unless they extend it, because they seem to like extending their updates.
The Tortoise Journey one, they extended it like 4 times.
Yeah.
Which I'm not complaining about.
But that was because of them, their fault. Anyways, this one's going to the 9th of April. We're recording on the 6th, of course, which makes that a Wednesday. There's one mission and one new mission, one old mission. So the old mission, of course, you can access both of these by opening your missions interface or tapping M on your keyboard because it's faster. You can even do it before you load into Haven. And in the Prestige tab, there's the Total Catastrophe and then a Gremlin in Need. Spiral Knights and their puns.
They're puns.
It's so bad, it's good.
Well, at least Spiral Knights isn't... Never mind. I'm not going to say it.
Well, I did take full advantage of the fact that they want... Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. Total Catastrophe is the same one that's been around for the last 2 years, which is you go around and you just kill cakes that are basically jellies that are reskinned as cakes, and you kill them around the kitchen, and then you get 5 tokens. And that's just... and free
She's
prestige.
done it again!
Yeah, there's not actually rationale for this one. It's just Biscotti's having trouble in the kitchen. Help her fix it. The lore isn't that she added dark matter and now there's cakes again. It's like there's trouble in the kitchen, which I think they were trying to intend to say that the Gremlin in Need mission has influenced the Total Catastrophe, but I don't know. In any case, Biscotti has very bad choice in assistance, because she herself has added dark matter to the cakes 2 years in a row, and then she has an assistant gremlin who decides to do the same thing while being mind controlled by a red muffin.
It must be NJ Thug's bad influence on Biscotti.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because Biscotti is an echo of silence, you know.
Oh, of course, yes. Oh, that's right. Yes, there's a knight called Biscotti. Anyways, that's the thing that happens.
With a, the full white battle chef and sprinkle aura and everything is pretty funny.
Yep. I've seen her around. And that is the Gremlin in Need mission, which is a single floor mission. It doesn't actually take that long. You just fight some waves of cupcakes and whatnot, which again are slimes. I'm trying to think here. There are these new destructible, Operation Crimson Hammer has those metal, I don't know what you call them, but like you see them in wars and stuff set up on the beach. I don't know what they're called.
Barbed
they're like
wire?
I don't know. They're like the metal pronged X's that go.
Oh, they're tank busters.
Tank busters. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the real name is called, but
All right.
that's
well,
what
sure.
So tanks will run over them and mess up the tracks, but
Aha. Okay. Anyways, there's spiky
they're
ones of those
barricades,
now.
basically.
So whereas you can cut through them normally in, say, Ironclaw Munitions Factory, Operation Crimson Hammer, not Ironclaw Munitions, Operation Crimson Hammer, where you can just cut through them really easy. These have spikes on them, and I discovered that the hard way. I just like running through these things. Like, why am I taking lethal damage? Oh, these things are covered in spikes or barbed wire. So a gun might be nice. You can still hit it with a sword, and it's fine. There's some rocket pups at the end. There's some soakwings at the end, and the final boss is a gremlin that does react to damage, so bring something shadow. And you'll do great. The mission you can experience for yourself if you haven't already. The last fight's kind of fun. There's no other mechanic like it in the game, and I'd like there to be. But basically, it's the entire battlefield turns into a giant vortex bomb that starts spinning you around, and it's fun.
In other words, you're inside a mixer.
Yes, you're inside a cake mixer, and it's fun. And apparently there's now mind control in Spiral Knight, so now we know. Keep that in mind, because it could happen again.
Oh yeah,
Here's a thought. What if that gremlin is Zang? Because he works for Biscotti.
Dun, dun, dun! That's why he's not showing his face. That's why he's like running. He can't make the show. Oh, did I explain that? Zang is claiming that his computer has crashed and that he can't use it until tomorrow. Which really makes no sense. But I guess we'll take him for it. Take his word for it.
Yes.
Wow, I messed up the smoothness.
Okay,
of
yeah,
that.
they're called anti-tank barricades.
Anti-tank barricades. Cool. Thanks. Anyways, and then the last thing is that in normal Clockworks levels, in the arcade, you can now find these cake rooms the same way you can find Dark Harvest rooms and Fiend rooms and all that. And you can fight waves of cakes and then get tokens from it. All these tokens you go to... who's the guy in Haven? Masquerel, right?
Yes, that one.
The stranger. He's in front of the fountain, right side, and you can trade it in for frosted helms and foiled frosted helms and prismatic frosted helms and anniversary prize boxes that have hats in them because apparently Spiral Knights has now turned into Team Fortress 2 with hats.
Isn't
Hats
there
upon hats.
Hat Simulator Guild?
Maybe, probably. But seriously, the Grand Topper accessory is a top hat. So,
Snipes
get
and top
a
hats.
hat, like a gunslinger, and put the Grand Topper on top of it. Please. I actually don't know if that one can have it.
Extra vertical vents
Uh-huh.
on top of that.
Any helmet that can have like a halo, because that's an accessory top, I will assume can have this Grand Topper accessory, which is also a top. So, put on the hat on the hat.
Or a phantom mask with a topper hat.
Yes, please. Just do it. Also, keep in mind that the frosted helms and foiled frosted helms expire. So if you want them not to expire, get the prismatic version, which costs the most, but doesn't expire.
By far worth it, yeah.
Yep. Looks kind of nice. You can also get party blowout accessories, party hat accessories, and birthday candle accessories, of course. It's interesting how there are many fewer blowouts, hats, and birthday candles as last year. Because last year there were many, many, many of them all over the place, and people were sending them around like they were nothing. Now they're a little bit more rare.
Yeah.
So, not like people need them.
Might be time to go raiding the guild storage.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I have in my guild storage. There are so many hollow costumes. Like every single one of them.
I can only imagine.
Like there's just like dozens of them. It's really, and no one wants them. They just keep putting them in.
It's basically your Night Fell in orange paint, and that's what you get.
Yeah. Well, you can sell them for like 2,000 crowns, I think, but it's not really.
It's not worth it.
I got a couple for 200 crowns the other day, so I just bought those up from the auction house.
Whatever you can get, right?
Made an 1,800 crown profit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people are crazy for them. I sold one for a piece of refined metal.
Wow. Someone plays more. I don't know if I wouldn't.
They don't play Spawn Knights and don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, either that or they don't play Team Fortress 2 and know what they're doing. I don't know, one or the other. Anyways, in tandem with the anniversary update was also some other patch notes stuff. So they're on separate pages, and you can access all of the patch notes and information we're talking about, the details that are on the Spiral Knights forums. We'll have all the links together for you on our website, which is sklayelite.com/arsenal. You can listen to all the episodes of the show there, all that good stuff. But patch notes also came out that were separate from the anniversary update, but came out at the same time, including the revealing of the statue, which is a shrine to Nick. And it's actually, like, eye-swimmingly, tearing-uppingly, not actually very impressive. But it's in memory of Nick. So, it's in memory of Nick. That's the end of the point. So,
Praise
yay.
the block.
Now, it would be nice if it had, like, an inscription that you can inspect and say, in loving memory of Nick.
Well,
or something.
As soon as it came out, I jokingly said it was a statue of Nick.
Uh-huh.
And everyone was like, I really highly doubt it's a dead developer or things like that. Like, I mean, not dead.
Well, yeah, but it is. Mm-hmm. Now, the silly thing is that new knights that now play the game are going to go to Haven and they're going to be like, oh, look, it's a rare monster. Or even worse, it's a slime with a mustache. Lol. And we're going to be like,
Lol.
That is our great creator, Nick Popovich.
Yeah, someone's making fun of the statue or spray painting it or something, and people just like kicking him. Why are people hitting me?
That's funny. There's actually recover tickets for accessories. So if you want to pay a hefty 1,000+ energy fine, you can recover your accessories that you remove.
If it's like Shadow Dragon Wings, though, something like that, then, and you accidentally put it on Proto Gear back in the Dragon update.
Yeah, well, then you can move them for only like 3,500 energy or something like that. Maybe it's more. I don't know. It's a lot.
It depends on what it is. So.
Yes, it varies depending on the position. Because I think like the front can only be like crests or barrel bellies and stuff like that, and so that's much cheaper than head, top, or armor back for wings and that tails. So there's that. There is the toggle map button, which I believe on your keyboard binds to B by default, and you can change it. I would make it something that's more easy to hit, because this thing is actually really useful.
I like it a lot, yeah, it's really great.
It gives you a bigger view of the map. It doesn't give you the whole map. That's what I thought it did at first. I pressed the button, like, oh man, it just gave me the whole map. But it didn't, which is good, because if it gave you the whole map, that'd be cheatsy doodles. It's still kind of cheatsy doodles, but you can do things like stand outside a danger room gate and press the button, and you'll get the map, and you can see what kind of danger room it is, because you can see the size. And if you know enough danger rooms, you can get the general idea of which one it is. At least generally, that's like the ones that are square. It's a little harder to tell, but you can see if a room is a mineral room from farther off. You can kind of see what parallel paths are. You can see across the way, all this kind of stuff. You just have to be close enough, and it'll start revealing parts of the map, which is really nice and a bit cheaty doodles. So, as I said, might be worth your while to bind that to a button that you can hit and turn on and off, because it's kind of nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I find myself using it on literally every level. And then I get mad because, oh man, my screen is so cluttered. And then I'm like, oh wait, the map is on. And then I turn it off, and then it's all better. Sorry, what was that?
Just saying I used it a bit, yeah. It's quite useful.
I likes.
Yes.
And
I've been thinking, these accessory tickets, how many people are going to use it to recover their prismatic vaulted V and try to sell it for a profit?
Dun dun dun! Prismatic Bolted V Syndicate members, I'm sure. Members of the conspiracy that are hiding all their Bolted Vs away.
Yes.
And not turning
We
them
do
in.
not speak of those here.
Yeah. Those illegitimate criminal types that aren't turning their Bolted Vs in. If you got it if it was acquired illegitimately, it is illegal. And if you still hold on to it, then we consider you part of the Prismatic Bolted V Syndicate, or PUVs for short. PUVs. Anyways, lastly, there's some veteran knights, and by that I mean one veteran knight is the only talkable to one. That was a sentence. At the entrance of Haven. So when you spawn into Haven, run down, not up, and you will see them. They're in the bottom right, and you can talk to them. And they say something about, as we were getting on the elevator, we saw something like tall in the distance. I wonder what it is. We'll need to investigate, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So towers of some kind.
Are.
It could be any number of things. Greenlink, you were telling me about an interesting thought you had.
Yeah, me and Drachnos were thinking, this new map that's added, it gives you an extended view. What about if this structure off in the distance is viewable on the new map?
And I was like, what? But then I was thinking, I think 3 Rings isn't creative enough for that, to be honest. I mean, sure, they've been creative, but they wouldn't, I'm not sure they'd do that. I still think it'd be awesome. Like,
there's still hidden stuff in the game that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
That Nick has told us about, then he left.
Yep. This is true. Now, some people say they think they know what it is, and it's kind of hard to confirm or not, but when he did, he said, 10 facts you probably didn't know about Spiral Knights. The last one is, there's a secret that, everyone sees every day, and, no one has really declared it or said what it is, and everyone's like, oh, it must be this, it must be that, but it's kind of hard to tell what it actually is.
Because if it's kind of convoluted, because if it's like a secret that everyone sees every day, it's not something that we wouldn't notice. I don't know.
Exactly.
But Monomi, or Monomi, whatever the name is.
Now that I think about it, this structure could possibly be the removed jelly green giant path in Aurora Isles.
Oh, I remember that thing. Do you remember why they removed it?
Because it was too hard?
Yeah, because all the tier 1 knights would go in and entire squads were just getting wiped out instantly.
That's why the color of the jelly is green, because Proto.
Yeah.
Yeah, they removed it because it was too hard. I don't know.
They ate too much Proto. What are you feeding these things? Proto knights, what else?
Yeah, so I've heard everything from, hey, it's new content for new knights, because they're just coming in from the beginning of Haven. Other people say, tier 4, it's a thing, or new boss, it's a thing. Who knows?
I wouldn't mind a new mini-boss. It would be just a little extra fun.
I wouldn't mind a new actual boss with new tokens and items and stuff. That'd be fun.
Would they add a 5th gate, though?
Tier -3.
Ooh, tier absolute value of 4. Of -4.
Tier
okay.
absolute 0.
There you go. Mount Krampus.
Yeah.
Can we explore Mount Krampus, please?
You know who Krampus is in like traditional lore?
Yeah, he's like the anti-Santa.
He like puts naughty kids in sacks and beats them with sticks before hanging them from a tree and eating them.
Yep. Yeah, he's the guy. He's like the origin of coal in the stocking and all that.
You know?
Yes.
Anyways.
Except he would probably pelt you with coal instead of just giving it to you.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It makes no sense where Mount Krampus is anyway, because it's a depth in the clockworks, and you go down a depth to climb the mountain.
Well,
It's an upside-down mountain.
How about-
Obviously, it's on the other side of the planet, so as you go down, you go up.
how about this? The planet was originally only the size of like a moon, but it's been built up, so there's many layers. Like it's like Coruscant or something. Like
So
there's-
everything's been built out.
Everything's been built out. It's all artificial. So the core is the actual planet.
Dun dun dun! Why would you do that? I don't know. That's not really a good time for that line. Oh well.
No.
But yes, as Dreckerno says, it's an Australian mountain. So
It's a Saharan
boy.
mountain.
okay, well, and Kairap speculates tier -1, just like in Mario Bros. It's the level that will never end because that's a glitch in the -1 level.
Yeah. It never ends.
Why would you do that? Okay. The last thing is a good...
Or if you're playing on the Asian server, it will end. Because in the Japanese version, it actually has an end of the level.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. Okay, cool. One more thing for the contest, among all the other things, is if you want to not be farming cupcakes, you can enter the A Good Day for a Night, KNIGHT, video contest. So make a video, post it on YouTube, follow the official contest entry form, and you will get... What's the prize? It's a picture that's signed by Polygon Cherub.
Yep.
Yeah.
You will receive a print of game art signed by lead artist Cherub, Ian McCollumville, a prismatic anniversary party pack, and a grand topper accessory.
Just the first thing would be worth it completely.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yep. Much less, and the anniversary pack includes party hats, blowouts, or a party hat, a blowout, a candle, sprinkle aura, which is highly valuable, 10 confetti, 10 large, 10 medium, and 10 small fireworks, which 30 fireworks, I mean, the energy adds up.
Yeah.
Just a word of warning: you must be prepared to tell Three Rings where you live and where you hide your keys and money before they will give it to you.
Or at least the first of the 3 statements, yes.
Yes.
The second and third place, Volcanic Anniversary Party Pack and Divine Anniversary Party Pack, also available. So, those are things that could happen if this deadline is April 14th at the end of the day at game time. So, basically, sometime in the middle of April 15th for anyone who doesn't live on the Pacific Coast. At the end of the... I think I said the numbers wrong there. But anyways, ends at the end of April 14th on the far west coast of the United States of America.
It should have been a good night for a night.
Yeah, it's a good day for a night. So when I play in the day, I have fun with my night, and when I play in the night, I always have a good day. It's like, oh.
But what about if you're playing in the evening?
The moving on. I'm just kidding.
Too complicated.
You're making my brain hurt.
I also had a transmutation if we wanted to get it.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess we will have... Here, just tell it right now. We've had so many unofficial transmutations. What's your transmutation?
First off is space levels. Wouldn't it be awesome to fight above the atmosphere of Cradle and maybe even the wreckage of ships?
Did that get submitted?
Yes.
Who is that by?
Mini Giggy.
Cool.
And it's like, you know how the lasers hit the Skylark? Well, what if other ships are there and it's like a ship graveyard up there? Kind of thing. Like, you know, they have defenses to take down an advanced night ship, so they probably have the technology to take down other ships. Get materials.
Spiral Fights, the bullet hell shooter.
Also, sacrificing materials to the statue of Nick.
For what purpose? He's like, I bless you, my child.
It would eventually, that would be how you get up into space, I think. What are you saying?
Wow, that's complicated. Okay.
Yeah.
Sacrifice my ecto drop to Nick, and then suddenly I can fly.
Yeah, or
You know the actual... I must say
not
this, because
yeah.
in lieu of Zhang not being here, the point of us being on the planet is to build ships to get off the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, what if you're able to getting up into orbit is much different from getting away from the planet.
I guess this is
If
true.
you can-
Carry on.
Yeah, you can get up into orbit and try to salvage some ships or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So space, you need oxygen, don't you? So new status effects. Let's say you have in a snowy environment, your knight should act cold, and his health bar should go down bit by bit until you die of cold. The same with heat, etc.
You just literally have to keep using your health pills. They've got respawning health pills around the
So
place.
food that keeps you warm or cold, armor, instead of heat and cold resistance on armor. That's what that'll do for you. I don't know, it's environmental stuff, which I think could be kind of cool.
Now, what armor would offer heat resistance?
Anything that offers fire resistance, I would assume. I think so.
But those would seem to actually be hot, I would think.
That's true.
The Vogue stuff smells like char.
You could have UV tickets, UVs. You could have UVs that gave those.
Okay, sure.
UVs that gave heat resistance or cold resistance. Okay, cool or sick. So you know how we have the Trojan looking armor? Well, if that armor or other monster looking costumes. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of interesting, actually. Huh.
What? I didn't get that.
Getting costumes that keep you camouflaged from enemies, like wearing a Trojan costume, and Trojans don't aggro to you until you attack them or something.
That would give reason to get the jelly armor.
Yeah,
The only reason in the game.
that's true.
Huh, that would be interesting.
An armor costume set.
I think that would be... Yeah, but costumes? You just have to get the right costumes, and then, you could play an entire Wolver level and never take damage once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gremlin costume. Gremlin healers heal you.
But
That would break the game.
Yeah, that would pretty much moot the combat.
But it would be interesting.
It would be interesting, but I don't think it would work.
It would be interesting if it wasn't permanent, your cover could be blown.
Yeah, if you attacked someone, that would instantly aggro everything around you to you.
Or maybe in a mission, say in the next DLC, whatever. You put on a gremlin
Oh yeah,
suit and you do some sneaking.
going in operation into the Great Colony, you wear a gremlin suit.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Spiral Knights, Metal Gear Solid Edition.
So we've got
You hide
Spiral
under a
Knights.
cardboard box.
We've got Spiral Knights the bullet hell shooter up in space. We've got Spiral Knights, Metal Gear, Splinter Cell, Thief.
God of War.
Okay.
Or Snake. You hide under a cardboard box.
Yeah. We've got Spiral Knights. We've talked about Ultimates before, so Spiral Knights League of Legends Edition. We got Spiral Knights in Smash Bros. What else?
We need Spiral Knights, the puzzle game. Oh wait, GFG already made that.
Oh, that's right. Oh, we should probably link to that. Yeah. The since disappeared GFJ member.
Yeah, where'd he go?
I don't know where he went. He's still around. He made the 2048 game with the Spiral Knights names, so you combine recruits and you make Squire and such. And I'm told that this is the last I'll say on this, but an effective strategy for that game is to tap left and right arrows back and forth and back and forth. I've seen very high scores from just RNGing the game to death.
Huh. Well, RNG says just pray to him.
Exactly. Now, we're talking about weapons and such, so we've got this book here. It's a normal-sized book now. Thank goodness it's not a big sword book or the one single sheet of gun book.
Its pages are soaked with nitroglycerin, so if you drop it...
It's kind of dripping. We're kind of waiting for it to dry. But it says, How to Make Boom, Bomber Guide. But we're pressed for time, so we'll get to How to Make Boom next week.
Boom.
How to make boom will wait.
Yes. We do, however, have a sprint question, and it should be worthy of note that it was Greenlink who first suggested, hey, you should do these questions, because they break up the show a little bit and make it, halfway through, and we're a little bit more than halfway through now.
What did you have for breakfast this morning?
Is that our sprint question this week? What did you have for breakfast this morning?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Okay.
No, okay. I was going to go into great detail about the piece of toast that I had.
I would have gone into detail about the same different toast.
I would have gone into detail about the 2 slices of roast beef and half a glass of chocolate milk I had. Chocolate almond milk.
Why would you do that? Okay, never mind. Skyside actually gave us this question, so thanks to him for that. He's good at, giving people questions. Anyways, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. But I'm just thinking with Muroka and Spiralspiel. Yeah. His question is, what is the most illogical monster in the game? And anyone can take this. You have 1 minute, max, to give your answer and explain your answer without being debated by the others.
Okay.
And we can talk about it afterwards. But the point is to just kind of touch and go with this, where
I'll
we can
go
just
first
kind of...
if you want.
Okay.
I haven't had time to think about it, so okay. Chroma whelps. They're like lizards that can basically have a sort of melee-ish and like archery type. Like, they can hit you from far away with their tongues, of all things. Like tongue attacks. They lick you to death. Seriously. Also, they seem to have an extraordinarily inordinate amount of health for their size and their like biology. Like lizards shouldn't have that much health. I don't know.
Okay.
And they also, I don't know, they can turn invisible too, so.
Alright. I'm going to say one thing that we can't say here is we can't say monster boxes, because those are easily the most illegitimate, like, illogical things in the game. It's like, it's got, like, one monster box. Monster boxes are fun. Like, any level that has monster boxes, I'm like, oh man, what am I going to get this time? Because you can literally get everything from minis to silver saps.
I'll tell you a story after your minute's done, but.
Sure. Alright. Green, what do you think?
I've been thinking about this, and I'm going to say Shankels. Because they have no purpose to be there. They are not trying to kill us, yet they just walk around, and they are probably the deadliest killer there is.
Probably, you just don't even notice it's there.
Yes, and these ones that spawn right in front of you, and you just step on them. And that they occasionally stick their head up for no discernible reason, and they make weird noises when they die.
Like they're sentient or something. Really?
Yes.
Have you ever noticed
What
the
even
parallel
are they?
between Wisps and the saw at TF2 Sawmill?
What? Sorry?
The saw at TF2 Sawmill,
Uh-huh.
it goes back and forth, and Wisps. Environmental damage that kills you.
Yeah, keep in mind that for both Shankles and Wisps, so long as they're in active mode, like they're not deactivated killable mode, you can dash through them. Mm-hmm. They have no hitbox, so use that to your advantage and just dash over them. The dash made those like trap rooms where there's like a bunch of them all in the line, and they're kind of like moving back and forth all together. Like you just jump over them and keep going. It's a silly room. And they can sometimes drop hearts, both of those.
So I'll tell you the story about the monster box real quick.
Sure.
I had a friend who like just started the game, and he was like in like 2-star I think, and he's in depth 1, or not depth 1, tier 1, but somewhere in like the first stratum. And he goes, "Help me! I'm dead." And I joined those 3 guys in in just like 2-star Wolver, all dead. And there's this Dark Fang Gremlin, just like dashing around. I'm like, how did they skate here? And we just opened a box and it came out and killed all of us.
Wow.
And like, I guess it just broke through all their shields and killed all of them in like 1 hit.
Wow.
But, I killed it, and it was before the spark, so I just revived them all. So.
Oh, nice. Good guy, Lord Hood. All right, well.
If there was anywhere with respawnable monster boxes, I would sit there for about an hour looking at what came out.
Even if it dropped no loot.
I know.
I just wait for a bunch of them to spawn and just break them all open, and like do battle with like 3 dust bunnies, a griever, a silver sap, and a Trojan, and like 3 gremlins. It would be great. Like, hi guys, what's up?
Two gremlin menders, and it's like a medic chain. I can't kill them, they keep doing the bubbles.
Well, what would that be if you broke like 4 boxes in one of those like jigsaw valleys or whatever, and they're all gremlin menders?
They all heal
just
each
like
other
healing
forever.
each other.
I can't. They heal each other. There's 3 of them healing. One of them healing himself, and 3 of them healing that one. It could be healing it faster than you can do damage to it.
2 guys can heal a normal gremlin faster. You can deal damage to it.
Okay, so cases. Yeah, it would be invulnerable menders.
Yeah.
Huh.
Gremlin Mender for new tier 3 boss.
Dracono says monster boxes give purpose to normal damage. To which me, as the damage person, would say, no, just bring multiple types of damage to every level. Even if you have 2 weapon slots, bring 1 weapon that's your primary, and then bring a secondary that is a different damage type, because never single class damage unless it's normal damage. But normal damage is for the weak. I'm just kidding. Alright, my turn. Most illogical monster in the game. And then we'll go into the next segment. I think the most illogical monster in the game is the Gremlin. Because why should Gremlins be there when Knights are already there? Because I'm the most self-impudent. Lord Hood shot me in the face. Spiral Order Recon. I got it. Yikes. And the humor is only compounded by the fact that that bumper involves Lads and Sklay stealing something from Gremlins, who he just called illogical. I don't think Gremlins are illogical. I don't know. Maybe dead knots, because how did undead zombies get into these, like, giant things that can also revive other zombies? That makes no sense to me. So that'd probably be my actual answer. But, they only appear in Legion of Almire, so never mind. Gremlins are illogical. We've already explained this. You should join the stream, twitch.tv/Ladison_Sklay. We've discussed this before. Gremlins are very illogical. Alright. Spiral Order Recon, I mean, I'd love to spend some time in here because these are awesome, but we should fly through these. First of all, this April Fool's video. How did we do it? I was gonna have Glacies on because he was the main guy who helped me out a ton. He showed me how to do a bunch of this stuff. But, so the first trick was, of course, all of materials turned into Eternal Orbs of Alchemy. And they reported in the chat, you got Rarity Eternal Orbs of Alchemy. Well, there is a config file in the game files where you can change material whatever to Rarity Eternal Orbs of Alchemy. So we just hard-coded it, and that's what happened. Multiple people were saying, isn't it against the terms of service, this, that, the other. Yes, but Sarona has never actually done anything about that, especially for content producers. You'll see people that are very popular that are changed, say, the font of their game, and they don't mind. It's just a thing. If they come after me, they come after me. It was a risk thing I was willing to take for this one.
Yeah.
But what they will do is they won't officially acknowledge you.
Secret GM forum. One of the posts that Eurydice made was that moment when you see this really cool thing that someone shows you, but you can't show it to other people because it violates the terms of service. So it seems like they're kind of okay with it, but they don't want to endorse it or something.
Yeah, well, they definitely don't want to endorse it because then they'd be speaking against their own terms of service, which says don't modify the game files.
Yeah, Eurydice has said that they won't officially acknowledge you. Like, they won't put it on, like, Fan Art Friday or anything if you do that on, like, YouTube or something.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Yeah, so I guess it's one of those things. I mean, I've used the HUD-less mod that I have before where it just gets rid of the HUD. I just deleted all of the HUD items, or the images for them. And I see people with different fonts. You see people with different game sounds, different background music. They've renamed their weapons, all that kind of stuff. So that's all we did. We renamed the stuff in the chat where it reports materials, and we just hard-coded it to say Rarity, Eternal Orbs of Alchemy instead. Then went to the game files and replaced all material images with the Eternal Orb image. So that was simple. There was a reason. If you go back and look at the video, someone noticed this in the chat. There's a little green, like, specks on some of the Orbs of Alchemy. It's the way that the materials are dropped in the game. They actually are based on chroma keys, which I think is interesting. Which, if you don't know, it identifies a certain color and then changes that color. And so all default materials are like bright pink and green. And it'll take those bright pinks and greens and turn them into whatever color, because you'll notice there's only like 12 or so material pictures in the game. There's more than that. But like lots of different bones, lots of different shards, lots of different cups, and then they just changed the colors of them. So that was interesting. So it changed the color of the Eternal Orb a little bit, but that wasn't a big deal. And then when I opened my inventory to show you that many Orbs of Alchemy, that was just a video editing magic. Taking a picture and putting it on top.
I liked Mollus's mace.
Oh, Mollus's mace. How did that happen? That was simple. There's actually a Mollus mace, the weapon data file for it in the game. And, like, I don't think they're going to give it to Knights, but Glacies was like, hey, Knights can hold this. Hey, we should do it. So we just put it over the Jalovec. And so we replaced the model for the Jalovec with the... Or Triglav, not Jalovec, sorry, Triglav with the mace. And then called it the mace. Glacies went and changed the name of the weapon and such. I meant to change the icon because when I moused over it, it looks like a Triglav still in the video. I thought I changed it, but I guess I didn't, so hooey. And then the last thing was just the console commands, right? That was the only other thing. Oh, no, there was some other stuff. Console commands was, we just changed the error message where it says, unable to, doesn't recognize / whatever, use / help for all commands, or whatever, where it normally tells you. We just changed that to say, console, your command has been executed, or whatever we said it was. So that was fun. The proto sword swinging really fast was a Venom Striker, reskinned as a proto sword. And then the last one was the Koravad that had Curse. That was just a Grand Faust, reskinned as a Koravad.
That was my idea.
That was Lord Hood's idea, and that was great. So yeah, like status UVs, it was great. Hood and I actually initially recorded a video, but then it just had some problems, and we added more things to it. So that's the video in its entirety. So now you can go watch it again and go, yeah, that's a Vile Striker. Yeah, that's a Grand Faust. Yeah, that's just fake chat commands and reskin materials. It was just like light shards
really
and
good,
stuff.
I thought.
It did. It looked very convincing for Depth 1, getting 5,000 Eternal Orbs of Alchemy. It was fun.
I knew it all along. That's what everyone will be saying.
Oh yes, of course that.
One person in the chat was like, "Oh, you got me." He like launched Spiral Knights really quick and like typed in the command and it didn't do anything.
Yeah,
like,
but there was one poor guy. He was like, "It's not working for me. I need these rarities really bad." And Skyside was like egging him on. He's like, you got to try it multiple times. It took Lad a long time before he got it to work. He's like, "Okay, I'll keep trying." I'm like, wow.
Throw your computer out the window, and trust me, it will work. Your screen might turn blue, but it's actually happening.
Yeah. Man, people were like, there's this one guy in game, I haven't responded to, but he's like demanding that I like take him on a party. Like, he's like, you have to take me on a party with. It's like, why do you believe anything on the internet on April 1st?
You just say, okay, here's what you have to do. You just go outside and run up and down your street yelling your name really loudly. Then come back inside and email and like post on the forums your address and credit card numbers. all those things.
Oh,
That'll work for you.
Yeah, so it was funny. Got some good response. I was pleased with Magnum Frost's not to. He was just like, obviously it's not real, but just such good video editing. How'd you do it? And so that's why I decided, we'll tell you guys how we do it.
Well,
so
I got like waylaid by one or two people who were like, "How did that do that?" I'm like, it's a secret, trade secret.
Episode 74 of the Arsenal Podcast is the new answer. So, anyways, that's that. It was fun. See you next year for April Fools. I've already got an idea of what to do if Spiral Knights is still around then. Next up, vid. Lots of vids. Sorry, what?
Anyone get locked in the closet this year?
Not yet, but maybe next week with episode 75. You never know. Eyebrows.
Spoilers.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, wink.
Spiral Knights Networks. Spiral Knights Shopping List Season 2 is a thing. Wow, that was like fake excitement to the max. It's a thing. Here's an explanation for you. YouTube.com/SklayElite, YouTube.com/ButtonMashEmpire, and I would say YouTube.com/SirJinxable, but people are already saying, where's SirJinxable stuff? Unfortunately, we were having some mic problems. We struggled with mic problems for an hour before we started the show, or started the game, and it ended up with SirJinxable's recording actually being botched. Like, his mic audio got really bad, and so he's not posting this season. So he's just kind of there in the background, which is kind of sad. It's a real bummer. But darn. But you can see the others of us. Maroka, Cognitive, Sir-Greenlink who played in this one. Zangrius was there. Glacies and myself. And so those episodes are going up. We're up to episode 2. Next episode's coming out on Monday.
Oh yeah, that's right. I need to sue you guys.
Alright, for stealing the Button Mash name.
Yes.
And for apparently stealing your plan for going to the daily mission.
Yet.
What's that? Sorry, I was talking over you.
I said you'd be hearing from our lawyers, but they have not responded yet. So
what?
I cannot take action.
We're hearing from our lawyers, but we can't afford any.
And I feel really bad because Maroka's is really well edited. He's got an actual list that comes down and he checks stuff off and displays points. I've just got an overlay of my web browser and text window. It's oh well, they both work. Maybe should put more effort into it next time. It'll be good.
He said
So
he was regretting not doing what you did.
Yeah, it's okay. So Jinxable's sarcasm is a video Spiral Knight's animation. It's actually the reason we're featuring this one. It's just a music video. It's a song that's got a little bit of screaming in it. So if you are the anti-screamo type, maybe you should take a pass on this one. But it's very short. But it's very different from any other Spiral Knight's animation that I've ever seen before, as far as it actually mocks a actual music video with text on the screen that's representing the lyrics, and the camera's like shaking around, and there's like fire and lights going everywhere. It's like, very impressive. I like. It's like fire going off and stuff. Also, so check that out. Also, Sir Jinxable, he tells me that he is very close to finishing episode 50 animated. So that's going to be awesome when it happens. I literally cannot wait. Okay, I can, but it's going to be really exciting when he finishes. Last I talked to him some 2 or 3 weeks ago, he said he was at the part where Lord Hood turns evil. So, almost there. It's basically a feature-length movie that takes forever to animate, so really thankful for him.
The movie, the animated series.
The episode, yes.
The web series.
Exactly. Jester, or IGN as Jester GTR. A friend of mine and an amazing artist. I think it is Hemnils, I guess. It's a knight. He's just named it after the knight. And scary Ice Queen art thing. It's just Jester being awesome and drawing more things. He self-taught himself, and he just kind of does these things. And so it's I don't know what the knight is doing, but there's chains and gray, and he's got things in his hands, and it's exciting. So
they're not changed, they're tentacles.
So take a look at it and be awesome, and let him know what you think below, and all that stuff in the comments for DeviantArt. What? I don't have a DeviantArt account? What's wrong with you? Fried Snipes Epicenter is another art piece. I literally do not know what I'm saying anymore, guys. I'm sorry. And this is kind of just a weirdly mashed line art and painting in some rushed mess. That's what the description says. But it's still cool. Double Nitronome for the win. And
it looks like the core.
That's what I was going to say. But yeah, well, was thinking about saying. It's basically opening the core with 2 Nitronomes. Is that all it takes? Really? No.
I wish.
Fried Snipe is Lizzie, who you may know by that name also. And lastly, as if he couldn't outdo himself, Fighting Polygon has made Leviathan Blade. This is the guy who made that full set of Azure Cobalt armor to wear around and cosplay, and now he's made a Leviathan Blade that is literally almost as tall as he is to go with the armor, and he's got pictures up. And wow, it's awesome.
It's just a shame it's a Leviathan Blade.
Yeah, no one likes the Leviathan Blade. Except Fighting Polygon and Agent A, apparently. Well, actually, I'll actually address that. If you want to say that I'm wrong there, then please, by all means, we got a contest that we'll run at the end of this episode, where you can... we'll get to that in a minute. So just check out the pictures and favorite it and do all of the things to show all of the support, because wow! It's so good. All right.
I know that Sir Jinxable uses a Leviathan Blade quite often, so...
Okay.
He must have his reasons.
Yeah, I will never understand, but to each his own. More power to you if you can make it work. Maybe it shows that how weak I am, because I have to use like the overpowered stuff to actually make my game work, but again, to each his own. We will be taking a pass on the Bazaar banter today because of time restraints. We'll be talking about the iron armor and stuff, which means we're going to still keep running the contest. We have a contest running right now, which we're asking about if you can give us any contribution of any kind for the show that we can actually use. Then you are entered into this contest if you don't already have iron costume stuff. So if you have Steam, you don't have the iron stuff, we're giving them away. Just contribute to the show with something. Tell us what you did in your week. Give us a question. Do whatever. And give us feedback. Whatever it is. And we will be happy to throw you some iron armor stuff. It's like the first 7 people that contribute, I think, right? Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Am I a contribution myself?
Do you not have the iron stuff?
I think I have the hat. Let me
Send that man the armor.
Yeah, I have the hat, but not the armor.
Hood, can you oblige him at some point?
Yeah. Do you have Steam?
Yeah. Do you not have GreenLink on Steam?
I might. I probably do. I just...
Alright. Well, to figure that out, let's run this last bumper here.
Ladies and gentlemen, your unique variants.
Alright, just listener contributions, show management, these types of things to wrap up. There's a contest! We're going to give away 10,000 crowns as given to us by a guild sponsorship that happened last week or 2 weeks ago. So we're going to give these crowns away. All you have to do is tell us what you think of the Leviathan Blade. Send us a email, send us a call. In-game mail, I suppose, will work, though that's the least preferable option. You rate the Leviathan Blade. You give it a 1, 2, or 3. 1, it's not worth getting because... and tell us why. 2, it can work viably in some situations, such as because... tell us why. Or 3, everyone should own it because... tell us why. We want to know why. We're curious. After naming the last episode, no one cares about the Leviathan Blade. We actually want to know. And this discussion about normal damage and all this stuff, sure, it's fun. Its effectiveness is questionable, so maybe you say number 2 because it's fun, but its usefulness is questionable. That's fine. But of all the people that submit stuff, we will be giving away 10,000 crowns to a random person. To that, might as well throw in some iron stuff in there. Potentially. Please note that there will actually be no episode next week because I will be out of town. The week after that is episode 75, which, spoiler alert, is not a normal episode because our 25, 50, 75 are not normal episodes, so that will be a non-episode also. So the week after that, in 3 weeks, hopefully there's no major news between now and then, or else that will kind of stink.
I'll, post something on my microphone, from a bunker.
Yeah, we'll need to. We'll need to do something together. I may just do an individual talk like I did for Battle Sprites, or we can meet up at some point. Before, after, the Gunner update happens this Wednesday, and we can't talk about it for 3 weeks. That's not happening. But these contests will end then, 3 weeks down the line. Not next week, not the week after, but the week after that. Sometime in May, we will give away those 10,000 crowns as we catch back up on all the news we've missed. YouTube is still happening, so if you want to be subscribe to youtube.com/skleelite. We'll still have videos going up and that kind of stuff. Alright, well there's basically the show. I guess we're shouting out and headed out. So I will shout out to Arap because he sent me an Electron Vortex. Just because. And thanks, you rock. And then to Snakes, because Tuesday is his birthday. So on Tuesday, send him 69 Ectodrops and a happy birthday. Because happy birthday to Snakes at 17! And that will be that.
Snakes at 17. Yay.
Whoa. Anyone you guys want to shout out to? Or shall we finish this?
Not particularly.
Shout out to Drakranos for trying to be Mythbusters.
Oh?
And yes, that the theory I had about the strange structures. We spent a few hours trying to find them.
Nice try. Anyway, okay, cool. Well, that will be episode 74. Tell a friend about us. That's how we get the word out. Won't waste your time with this. This time. Phone number, call us. 1-678-322-7765. You can find us on Steam. Join the Steam group, The Arsenal Podcast, with SirGreenlink in parentheses. If you're hooked up there, you'll know when we record, when we have events, when we have major videos going on YouTube, when we're streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/ladison_sklay, youtube.com/skleelite, Facebook, Twitter, website, all that. You can email us at arsenal@skleelite.com, and then check out skleelite.com/arsenal. I do need to speak about this. You awesome people that stick around till the end of the end of the show get to hear about this. I promised last week, well, I didn't promise. I said last week I'd try to get my tier list out for swords. I'm working on finishing up the formatting for it because I'm kind of like making it a little bit nice and pretty. So that will probably be coming out this week, and I'll put an announcement up, but that will be on the website, so square8.com/arsenal. It's me ordering the weapons in terms of what I think is effectiveness and value for new knights and why. And so there's some descriptions there, and you can see where your favorite weapons rank to me and all that stuff. And if you want to make your own tier list, by all means, we'll share it on the show.
I'm going to make a tier list.
Do it.
I'm going to put Cautery Sword in overused.
Well, go for it. My list will be up there soon, so that's that. And sneaky peek for you guys that are sticking around to the end of the show. So thanks. Dracono says in the chat, they don't exist. Myth busted. And I assume the sad face implied.
They don't exist.
No, why would you do that? Okay. I'm just trying to establish the why would you do that so we can call the show Why Would You Do That, which I think is what's going to happen.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Why not?
Why would you call the show that?
Why not?
Why?
Why not? We should just end the show on us arguing. It's like, why? Why not?
Why am I asking why?
Why not? Why would you do that? What?
Why are we talking about this?
I don't know. Let's stop talking about this. Thank you all for listening.
Cut the hard lines now.
To the Arsenal Podcast. Cut the mics. The hosts and guests are going crazy. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks, Greenlink, for joining in again this week. Filling in for saying and all that.
Yay. Zang is obviously up to no good.
Obviously.
And, right, okay, everyone, we're going to start an organised mob. Yes, an organised mob, and we're going to hunt him down. Who's with me?
Hunt him down. Ah! Thanks for
Burn
listening.
him at the
We'll see
stake.
you.
Hunt him down with an oxymoron.
Hunt him down up the hill. That's an oxymoron for you. Okay, we'll see you next week for episode 75. Thanks for listening.
Let the revolution begin.
Yeah!
Geared up and ready to go? Thanks for listening to the Arsenal, a Spiral Knights podcast. See links and listen to previous episodes on our website, skaleli.com/arsenal. Send comments, questions, and audio to arsenal@skaleli.com or give us a call at 1-678-322-7765.